Hi there, Ohio Christian Writers attendees. My name is Cody Morehead. I'm the director of the conference this year, and today I'm joined by Terry Whalin, who's a faculty on staff this year. Hi, Terry. How you doing?
Hey, Cody, great to see you.
Well, Terry, we just went to these faculty interviews because we want people to get a snapshot into who our faculty are, what they stand for, and some of the things that they're going to be doing at the conference this year. So Terry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Cody, I've been in publishing many years. I'm currently working at Morgan James Publishing, where I've been for the last 5 years. I'm an acquisitions editor for them, which means I find the books that we publish. I'm one of several acquisitions editors that we have. We're a New York-based publishing house, but I work remote. I live in Colorado.
Fantastic. So you said you're an acquisitions editor. Can you, and you find the books that the companies that your publishing house will publish. What does that look like? What exactly is that job entail?
Oh my goodness. I always tell people being an acquisitions editor is like trying to drink water out of a fire hose. You know, it's a lot of content that I get coming my direction. We receive over 5,000 submissions a year and only do about 150 to 200 books. And on the Christian side, we're only doing maybe 25, 30 Christian books that we sell into the Christian bookstores. So my responsibility is to try to look at all that material, look at the authors, find some good ones, and convince my team that we should issue a contract, and then get the book out there into the bookstore.
Wow, that's really neat. So I got to learn something new today, which is great. So let me ask you this: How did you get your start in the industry?
That's a really good question. I went to Indiana University, studied journalism. I thought I was going to live, breathe newspaper journalism is what I thought I was going to do with my life. Indiana is one of the top 10 journalism schools in the country, and so I actually became a Christian about halfway through my sophomore year in college, and I'm sure my journalism colleagues thought I was nuts. I took kind of a left-hand turn out of college and went into linguistics. I spent 17 years with Wycliffe Bible translators. And so 10 of those years in linguistics, working with the Southwest Cachiquel people in Guatemala, Central America. And ultimately, I did return to my writing, started writing for magazines, wrote some books. My first book was published in 1992. Since then, I've written more than 60 books for traditional publishers, and I've written for more than 50 magazines. So I'm one of these writer types that just love books, and I love what I do.
That's absolutely awesome. So what's your favorite piece of writing advice that you would give to new and up and coming writers?
I have a lot of advice that's on my blog, for example. I have almost 1,400 entries in my blog on the writing life that I have out there. But I guess people wonder how in the world, Cody, that I've published all this stuff out there and I've gotten it in their market. And I kind of figured it out the other day that really it's pretty simple. I go to these conferences, I meet editors, I listen to editors and agents, and they listen to my idea and they say, "That's a good idea, Terry, write that up and send that to me." And so I make a little note, I go home and I write it up and I send it to them. Now that doesn't sound very hard, but you'd be surprised. I tell people all the time, I look at their stuff at these conferences and I say, "Great, write that up and send that to me." And they don't, for whatever reason. They get home and, their kid's sick or their car breaks down or whatever happens to them, but something in their life gets in the way. Or maybe they get scared and they just decide not to send it to me. But it's not that I'm the best writer in the room or the best communicator or anything, but I am one of the most persistent that you'll meet.
Yeah,
and so,
absolutely.
when somebody says, "Send it to me," I do. I send it to them. And if you do that, you're probably in the top, 10% of the people that were at the conference because you actually carried through with what the editor wants you to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's pretty simple,
Yeah.
but do what the editor asks you to do or the agent asks you to do, and then you'll be way ahead of the curve is the way I look at it.
Well, that's great advice, Terry. I really like that. And you're going to be teaching a handful of classes at the Ohio Christian Writers Conference this year, and I just know we're so excited to have you. We're so glad that you're going to be there. You mentioned your blog, and I wanted to, just so people know, where can people find you on the internet, social media, the whole 9 yards? Where can people look for you at?
I have a little site, terrywhalin.com, but probably my blog is the best place. That's the writinglife.ws for website is where my blog is. They can follow me on Twitter. I have, I think I just went over 218,000 people follow me on Twitter. So I have a lot of information and a lot of advice out there. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, all that kind of thing. So they can look for me just under my name, Terry Whalin. That's the simple way to find me. Google, they can always use Google to find me. But yeah, they call me one of the most accessible people in publishing because I have my email address right in my Twitter profile right there. And I'd say I love to help authors. How can I help you? And that's what I do all day long. I help people. I answer my emails, answer my phone. It's kind of simple, Cody, to do that. But, publishing is really a communication kind of business. But the reality is a lot of editors and agents don't communicate. Yeah. I mean, you send stuff out and you hear nothing. It like goes in a black hole somewhere. Yeah. So I try to be different in that I answer my email, I answer my phone. I try to help people. I don't think it's very complicated, but that's kind of what I do all day long.
Absolutely. Well, Terry, that's great advice. It's great that people can get a hold of you, that you're accessible. I know in an age when everybody is at the tip of your fingers with a smartphone, it seems like it's harder to get a hold of people than ever, isn't it?
It is. It is. But
you can't get a hold of them. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad to hear that. So I got some off-topic questions.
Sure.
What's your favorite TV show right now?
I'd say we do watch a lot of TV, my wife and I, reality shows, all that kind of thing. But I'd say my favorite TV show right now is a new show called Salvation that's out.
Okay.
It's kind of a thriller kind of show, but it's very well written. And I actually recorded the season finale on my DVR the other day. I haven't seen it yet because my wife's out of town, but we're going to watch it soon to see the season finale of Salvation. But I recommend that one.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. Well, Terry, just so glad that you carved out some time for this interview. Really thankful that you're going to be on our staff. And I know that people are looking forward to seeing you and to hearing some of your breakouts and just getting some wisdom from you. So thanks for joining me on the interview. And just remember Ohio Conference people, that Terry is going to be there. If you haven't yet, make sure you follow him, like his page, and share his blog on your sites. A great wealth of information and resource. And until our next interview, we'll see you later.
Thanks, Cody.